Former President Donald Trump is endorsing Attorney General Daniel Cameron in his run for governor of Kentucky.
Mr. President, I hope you can tell that Kentucky is Trump country.
I'm the only candidate endorsed by President Trump and the only candidate who stood up to Joe Biden. I fought the Biden agenda in court to defend Kentucky. Andy Beshear, he never will. As governor, I'll put Kentucky first, even when it's hard.
Things got even harder for Kentucky gubernatorial candidate Daniel Cameron after he lost his bid to unseat Governor Beshear, despite the fact that he ran that ad showing off the endorsement that he got from Donald Trump. Like, no, for real, Trump really threw his weight behind Cameron.
Daniel Cameron is a young star who has done a great job as your Attorney General, always being fair but very, very tough. And the wonderful people of Kentucky know it. You've learned it, you've seen it, you've been watching it. He is strong, reliable, and loves your state and our nation. Daniel strongly supports law enforcement and is endorsed by the Kentucky Fraternal Order of Police, will not allow men to participate in women's sports, fully supports our teachers and getting our children caught up from the massive learning loss caused from Beshear's educational policies, which have been a disaster for Kentucky. He will eliminate Kentucky's income tax and will support the working men and women of Kentucky, just like I did for 4 great years. I have known and worked with Daniel Cameron for a long time, and he's good on every common sense policy there is. He's a common sense person. He will never let you down, and he has my complete and total endorsement.
And now that his complete and total endorsement has failed yet another Republican hopeful, there are more grumblings about Trump's perceived Midas touch, which apparently turns everything to instead of gold. And the former president's reaction to Cameron's failed bid immediately identified the culprit. Daniel Cameron lost because he couldn't alleviate the stench of Mitch McConnell. I told him early that's a big burden to overcome. McConnell and Romney are kryptonite for Republican candidates. I moved him up 25 points, but the McConnell relationship was too much to bear. Tate Reeves, on the other hand, surged to a win for governor of Mississippi after my involvement. Congratulations to Tate. Congratulations to Tate, and forget all about Daniel. It's a curious thing to post, though, considering just 4 days before the election, when things were looking more encouraging for Cameron, Trump posted this on that same app and figured that no one would notice. Wow, Daniel Cameron of Kentucky has made a huge surge, now that they see my strong endorsement and the fact that he's not really a McConnell guy. They only try to label him that because he comes from the great state of Kentucky. Anyway, go Daniel. Great future for you and your state. You will bring it to new levels of success, and I will help you. Cameron went from not really a McConnell guy to having such a close relationship to Mitch that the loss eternally connects him to McConnell's stench. Cameron shouldn't be surprised or upset that he's now got the stench of both McConnell and Trump chasing him, because Donald has a history of framing and reframing narratives for his endorsements before results are even available. Remember this from Republicans' disappointing showing back in 2022?
You've endorsed more than 330 candidates this election cycle. Tonight, win or lose, the results for Republicans, how much of that will be because of Donald Trump?
Well, I think if they win, I should get all the credit, and if they lose, I should not be blamed at all, okay? But it'll probably be just the opposite. When they win, I think they're going to do very well. I'll probably be given very little credit, even though in many cases I told people to run. When they do well, I won't be given any credit, and if they do badly, they will blame everything on me.
It's got to be the most Donald Trump statement ever. If they win, give me credit. But if they lose, I had nothing to do with him. Daniel Cameron must be seeing Trump's sudden criticism and talk of his stench, and remembering that he did something very similar to Don Bolduc, who lost his Senate bid back in 2022 as well, and conceded the race the only way that a MAGA candidate would.
The experts have called it. Maggie Hassan has won. I was told the protocol was to call her first, but I'm not one for protocol. I wanted to come and tell my supporters who have been with me 100% that this is not a loss. We woke a lot of people up. Hopefully we put her on notice, and hopefully she will do the right thing for Granite Staters.
She's done nothing for New Hampshire.
But before that angry and petulant concession speech, Trump saw the writing on the wall and placed some blame on Bolduc for pausing on kissing his ass over his election denialism. And he said this: General Don Bolduc has run a great campaign to be the U.S. Senator from the beautiful state of New Hampshire. He was a strong and proud election denier, a big reason that he won the nomination, but he then disavowed. He has since come back, at least on busing, but that's only a small part of New Hampshire election fraud. Nevertheless, Don Bolduc has asked for my endorsement, and he's got it, complete and total. His opponent is a disaster on crime, the border, inflation, and all else. Vote for Don Bolduc. Moral of the story for Republicans: getting a Donald Trump endorsement will get you his attention, but if you don't win, the knives will come out to convince his voters to never vote for you again.